Today's video is brought to you in part by Ladybug Paper Company. Check out their full line of products at www.ladybugpaperco.ca. We are honestly very lucky to have so much nature around the city of Halifax. Within half an hour of downtown, you can find yourself beachside or deep in the forest. Slowly, however, residential communities are beginning to take over these areas. New construction is a common sight these days, almost anywhere you look in the city. What does that mean for our wilderness? It means at least incorporating it into the planning of our neighborhoods.
So it's not too often you're going to start with a nature hike right in the middle of a brand new subdivision, but yet that's where we find ourselves today. So we are doing two trails mixed into one video, as one is essentially just a continuation of the other. So yeah, we've never been to this area. It is a brand new community by the look of it. They're still building a lot of houses on this street. So the trail was here prior to the community, so I guess that's probably why there's so many homes around this area. So we're going to take a nice little walk. This one that we're doing here is about a 3.6 kilometer hike, and then continuation is another 1.1 kilometers. So a good little stretch on today, June 1st. So I'm honestly not quite sure that I get the first section of this trail. Maybe this center section is supposed to be filled with water at some point throughout the year, but we have had a lot of rain so far this spring. And yet I still see no water, so I'm not sure why they would have created this loop in the first place. But we're going to hike it anyway. You know, I guess there's nothing wrong with getting an extra little bit under your belt before checking out the rest of the trail. But it is a little surprising that this is part of it.
Mixed in and around the brand new homes lies Hemlock Ravine Park, a parcel of land devoted to help preserve the wooded space in these developed areas. The Cabin Lake Trail can be found within this park. The land on which Cabin Lake rests was first given to Reverend Jean-Baptiste Moreau, who came to Halifax selling goods and acting as a schoolteacher in 1749, alongside Edward Cornwallis, the founder of Halifax. It wasn't until 1865, however, long after Jean-Baptiste Moreau moved on, that John Gray, the last owner of the land, began utilizing it for farming and fishing, where he built his small, traditionally built cabin.
Okay, so you can definitely tell that we are in Canada. What do we have? The only thing that's in the water that's not water, fish, or ducks? It's a hockey net. Whatever kid lost that is probably not too happy. That's probably freezes over in the middle of winter, and somebody didn't bring it back home afterward. It's a shame.
Sometimes in life, there's a big difference between expectations and reality.
So Connie brings up a good point. Up until this point, we've been looking for what is a very common May flower, but it has so far been quite elusive for us. So now that it's June, I guess they're going to be June flowers. Yeah, Connie believes that she's found some Mayflowers. The only issue is that it's not exactly on trail, so we're going to venture down here and see if we have indeed found our elusive flowers. So she's probably going to be able to tell just by the smell of them as opposed to what they look like. We've been sending photos to my dad every hike to see if we finally found the flowers, and every single time we do, the answer's been no. So we're still in the process of finding those flowers, and once again, we're at a solid no.
For many, June means the start of summer. For us in Halifax, it's a time to see things change from small buds to bigger leaves, things most people see in springtime. If you take the time to look, you can see the transformation.
So I'm really loving the ideas of these urban trails and parks. It's a fantastic way to literally, for these people, get out of their backyard and to go for a little hike. So we finished the first section of this hike, and just across the street is how we're going to approach our second trail of the day. So the first thing that we've come across of interest on this side of the trail is a quick game of tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe, a game of strategy you learn as a kid. Apparently, I haven't developed my skills much since the 4th grade.
Yeah, turns out we're both too good. We'll never be able to beat each other, so we're just going to leave it as a tie. I'm sure if we just kept going, eventually my mind would tire and Akane would crush me in defeat, so we're going to leave it as it is. I'm really liking all these small rock outcroppings along the trail. So this trail is nice in the fact that it's easy to walk on, so this crushed rock is really nice. Got some beautiful views, and then you got these rock outcroppings which make it extra beautiful.
I enjoy trails that have an endpoint, a special location that makes the hike worth it, if you will. A lakeside stop is one of the places for me. It gives you time to stop, look in and at the water, and reflect. The peacefulness that typically comes with these locations is skewed a bit by the surrounding homes and buildings, but the beauty of the lake hasn't changed. In fact, the buildings make for an important backdrop. It reminds you that sometimes you can have a mix of the two, and things will be okay. It also tells me, however, that it's important to keep doing what I do. Go explore the places that are far off, places that aren't overrun by the hand of man. At the end of the day, it's great to get out, whether you need to drive 5 minutes or 5 hours from your home. The Cabin Lake Trail attempts to mix two worlds together, the developed and the natural. Combining the Cabin and Fleetwood Trails, you get a pretty decent workout with a 3.7 kilometer or 2.3 mile hike. This out and back trail keeps things pretty tame, with a mere 47 meter or 154 foot climb at its highest peak. Although you would really never notice the height, as the grade is gradual throughout the entire trail. Think you would enjoy this hike? Share it with somebody you know and see if they agree with you. Just remember, together, we can share the world.